Hello Leeds fans, it's Connor here. We're back with your match preview. Man City take on Leeds United this weekend, and I'm here outside the Etihad in Manchester to take you through Big Sam Allardyce's first game in charge of the Whites. Pretty impressive stadium here. It was used for the Commonwealth Games in 2002, so it's not really as, in my opinion, as impressive as, you know, your Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and the Emirates and probably Wembley, to be honest, but it's still decent, still half decent, and it's nice to be on on location going through the game. A lot of Leeds fans will descend here at the weekend, probably around 4,000 or 5,000. Let us know in the comment section below if you're going. It's going to be an interesting affair. As I say, Big Sam's first game, and it's exciting in a way. Of course it's exciting. I mean, as I just perch myself down here, I'm still of the impression that this is going to be an exceptionally tough game for Leeds United. West Ham coming here the other night and still coming up with a loss. I'll make a move actually, it's quite windy. Coming up with a loss after doing reasonably well in the first half, losing 3-0, and believe it or not, that was a tough day for City. So this is the sort of opponent you're coming up against. You're coming up against an opponent who, when they score 3 goals, it's been a bad day. So, I mean, City are averaging about 3.14 goals per game. So if you take that average, and Leeds United's an absolute abomination of a defence. Let's not forget that it was 23 goals conceded in a month. You're expecting a fair few to go in this weekend. So it's whether or not Leeds can match it. It's what you see as a success this weekend. I probably see a success as maybe, I don't really know, to be honest, everyone, maybe a 2-3-0 loss. I just don't think the odds are going to be with Leeds this weekend. I think it's going to be a really, really, really tough game. This isn't just an ordinary Man City side, it's a Man City side with a striker on top who's got 35 goals. Will he be rested? That's the question. Maybe, but I think he'll want to play in this game. I said that to Brownie and Gabe on the debrief. I'm fully expecting him to play, him to want to play. Obviously, it's a big occasion for Erling Haaland. Was born in Leeds. I'm still convinced he's a Leeds fan. And yeah, I still believe that he'll want to play in this fixture. So, you know, we've got to contend with that. Kevin De Bruyne, is he going to be back for this match? Who knows? That will be massive if he's out. But then you've still got Julian Alvarez and Bernardo Silva, who occupied the Kevin De Bruyne role the other night. We know everyone, it's the Harlem Globetrotters. It is an all-star 11 and an all-star 11 reserves as well. So for me, this one is going to be a ginormous task for Leeds, and this is why when I look at Big Sam's task at the minute, I see it as not impossible, but I do see it as a massively tough ask, because he's not got 4 games, in my opinion, because I think Leeds are going to struggle in this one. He's got 3 games. Now Newcastle at home, there's potential there. Spurs at home, potential there. West Ham, there is definitely potential there. I just haven't seen enough of Leeds United to be able to turn around to you guys and say Big Sam within 2 or 3 days is going to come round and change the fortunes of this football club. I think Leeds are in dire straits. I think Leeds are a poor side. I think Leeds are a massively poor side, and I still think the defence proves that. And I don't know what Sam can come in and really do in the short space of time. From his press conference I should say, yesterday, he's pretty much turned around and said, look, he'd have loved to have been given more time. I think we all knew that. We all wanted Sam to be given more time. His name was first uttered in February, and I remember that, and I did give it a bit of a laugh, and I've given it a laugh this time when he's been employed. So my status hasn't changed there. I think Leeds are in problematic state at the minute, but that would have at least given him more time. But classic Victor Orta didn't want to give him the job, and I'm not saying it would have been the right appointment, but Victor Orta wasn't pragmatic when it came to Jesse Marsch for far too long for me, and that's one of the big contributing reasons Leeds are where they are. But coming on to this game, do I think we can come here and win? No, I don't. Do I think we can come here and draw? No, I don't. But I understand football is all about hope. So yeah, I'm going to be right behind the team at the weekend. I'm going to be supporting Leeds, and it's probably going to get to 255 on Saturday afternoon, and I'm probably going to be turning around to you guys and saying, yeah, Leeds can get a win, and that's the curse of being a football fan, isn't it? It is that hope that kills you. But I'm never not going to get behind Sam. I don't think it's going to work ultimately, and I really struggle to get on board with people who somehow think that our defence, our injury ravished defence, which is terrible anyway, is suddenly going to turn round and keep out some of the best offensive outlets in the league. Let's not forget we're 3 of the top 6 to play. Even though Spurs are Spursy, they still have Kane, Richarlison, Heung-min Son at their disposal, which, you know, we might all laugh at Spurs, but what, they're still 6th in the division. They're still a top elite side in the best league in the world. So I struggle to find the notion that Leeds are going to be able to keep that bunch out, and especially this weekend here with just the level of talent that this lot have. I just can't see it. I hope I'm wrong, as I continuously say. But long-term projection wise, I've said this because people always call me out for being wrong, but long-term projection wise, what I've said over the past sort of 2 to 3 years has unfortunately come true, and that comes down to me not having any trust in the board. And some of you might see that as pessimistic, as negative. I've been called that this week for not thinking Sam's going to come in and get 2 or 3 wins out of 4, but I just see it as a realism. I see Leeds in dire straits now, and as traumatic as it is, I've almost just come to the realisation that I feel Leeds are going to struggle. However, is it realistic that Leeds can get points against West Ham? Is it realistic that Leeds can get points against Newcastle and Spurs? Of course it is, and that's why football is all about hope, isn't it? And there is a glimmer of hope there for Leeds United, and I'm not going against that fact. There is hope there. You know, there is a notion that Leeds can get points. I just see it as this weekend's a write-off, and then you're looking at 3 games. You know, is there potential for a draw at home to Newcastle? Yes, but Leeds have to be perfect. Leeds have to be perfect against Spurs with the calibre of squad we have and with the mistakes we have in our team and the hologram midfield pairing that we have, and the defence ultimately. So Leeds have to be near perfect and have to do it consistently, everyone, which they've not done all season. Big Sam spoke about Leeds getting 6 points out of the last 4, that being a really good return, and he's bang on. That would be an unbelievable return. It would keep Leeds in the Premier League, but is it realistic? I don't think the deficiencies of this side just go away because Sam comes in. I think the deficiencies of this side have been obvious under Bielsa, Marsh and Grazia now, and what the board have done is they've just panicked. Brought Big Sam in, no disrespect to him, but they've not given him any time. They've not given him a transfer window. And even him himself has come out and said, I'd have loved more time to be able to get my methods together to be at this great club. And it seems like Sam's really up for the challenge and stuff like that. But are these players going to respond to him? Because it feels like they've down-tools a nucleus of them for Bielsa, a nucleus of them for Grazia, and obviously a nucleus of them for Jesse Marsh as well. So it seems like when this group have down-tools and don't fancy it anymore, they just give up. Because we know there's talent in there, but for me it just seems like there's too many of them who just don't fancy it when the going gets tough, and that's not a reflection on Sam. In a strange sort of way, it's not a reflection on Marsh and Grazia and Bielsa really. But you know, they are the managers who've had to put the tactical blueprints in place to get the best out of these players. They are the managers who've been paid and will be paid a lot of money to get the best out of these players. But the players have to take a considerable portion of responsibility for where Leeds are at this moment in time, because they're the ones on the pitch week in, week out, trying to get this club points. And I think a lot of them, or there's a fair few of them at the minute, who just have not fancied it, and that's dire to see from a Leeds United perspective, a working class club perspective. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on this weekend. I'm feeling maybe a little bit more confident than the other day on the debrief, but I still think it's going to be a bit of a drubbing. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, everyone. Really interested to hear your thoughts. We'll be behind Sam, we'll be behind Leeds United like we are every single week. But that doesn't, for me, change the problems that are at this club at this moment in time. It's giving people a real vibey, good feeling, which is nice. It's nice to know that people are feeling vibey and happy at the minute with the Sam introduction, but that just shows how bad it has been at Leeds United for a long time now. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Really appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.